friends, so this video is going to be over probably the most asked question I've gotten since I've started the YouTube channel, and it's about my saddle setup and how to use a saddle. And while I'm doing that, I'm also going to talk to you about some pieces that I've added to my kit that have kind of helped me refine it and make my process a little bit easier, a little bit quieter, and a lot more comfortable. That being said, the first piece of gear I'm going to talk to you about is going to be this Doyles gear harness. I think that's how it's called. It's called the Hunting Hoist, and it's just a retractable piece of gear. It's got a nice retractable rope, and the reason I find that useful is a lot of times I used an Amsteel product. I'm not going to name any company names, and it was a good product. It's super light, and it was not cumbersome, stayed out of the way. And when I first saw this hunting hoist, I think it's Doyles Hunting Hoist. When I first saw this product, I got it to my house. I was like, wow, that's bigger than I thought it was going to be. I figured it'd get in my way a lot, but I don't even notice it. It is attached to my saddle, and I don't even feel it on me when I'm walking through the woods or climbing or whatever. So, and one of the things I like about it is the attachment feature. So, as you can tell, you got this little feature here, and then you can route that around your bow. I actually have a piece of D-loop cord that goes to the top of my Hoyt that I loop in there so that I don't have any contact physically on the bow, so I'm not scratching it up or anything. But as I climb up or as I climb down, it's automatically retracting. So once I unhook, I can put it back and it's out of my way. And it's just one more thing that's not in my way as I'm trying to get unattached from the tree and get unattached from my gear so I can pack up and get out. The other thing are these Hunt Arsenal aiders. This is the Max Step Aider by Hunt Arsenal, and I really like these. I will say they're a little bit more cumbersome to pack in or to pack up like this, but once you get it figured out, they are 10 times easier to climb in than a regular Amsteel, aider with a piece of fuel line over the step. They don't bite in on your feet as well. So, like if you're going somewhere, we hunt a lot of marsh area here, a lot of swamp area. So I'm typically wearing some kind of rubber boots that are a little bit wider, and the aiders would bite on the side of them, and sometimes it'd be difficult to get my feet out of them. And these Max Step aiders eliminate that. So I'm going to show you these on the. I'm gonna take my kit and I'm gonna put one step up, and I'm gonna hang everything and show you how I do the complete setup with just one step, the platform and everything else. So stay tuned, and we'll get this thing set up on the tree and give you a quick rundown. All right, so this is the Latitude carbon stick. Get back in there, watch man. And you can see this is the Max Step Aider by Hunt Arsenal. And one of the things I noticed about it is I really like these attachment points. So one of the problems I had with my other ones was that there was nothing that really locked them into place on the steps. So you get a locking mechanism that you can slide up the ropes and lock your steps on. They also come with these nice bungees, so when you want to reattach it, like post hunt when you're packing them in, you can just you fold all your ropes up out of your way and take that bungee and cinch it over, and now it's locked in. So that's the Hunt Arsenal Max Step Aider. I really like this product. They're not terribly expensive. The double step is obviously a little bit more than the single steps, but I run a single step aider on 3 of my sticks, and then on my bottom one it has a double step. So again, it's another product that I bought this year. I paid full price for it. The guys at Hunt Arsenal have no clue who I am. I don't have any endorsements or any pro staff deals with them. It's just a product that I like, that I thought you guys might find helpful and useful when you're out in the woods. All right, so here we go. And I am going to mount this thing with just one stick and one aider. I have a double aider on the bottom one. So here we go. I'm going to wrap this cord as much as possible so I don't have any slack, because I don't like anything dingle-danging in the breeze more than it has to be. And that thing's locked in. So at this point, we're assuming this is my top step and my climb. So the next thing I would do is I would put my platform either depending on how I wanted my strong side to be facing. So I'm going to put my platform on this side and simulate like I am going to have my strong side back here to my archery range. And that's how I'd want to set up if I was out in the woods. I'd want to have my strong side to where I most anticipated the animals. Now in the past, some of you have seen where I used like an actual rope system with a swablash hitch or swablash hitch to attach my platforms, and that was to get rid of this metal, the potential for this metal piece on this strap that came with the Latitude platform. It was to get rid of that in case there would be any contact, metal on metal contact. But I started using it again this year just for ease of effort. And what I found out was I really liked it. So what I'll do is I found it to be, it secures a lot better against the trees for the reason I really liked it. So we're going to wrap the strap the opposite side of the harness, or the opposite side of the tree. Go around the opposite side of the tree from me. That way the locking mechanism is in front of me. I'll pull my stand up, and then I can just cinch it down on the tree like that. Just loosen it up. Now I'm going to bring it back around because it's not where I wanted it. I'm going to throw my pack on real quick. We're actually going to climb up on this. So if I was actually getting in a tree, I typically have my pack on my back either way. So every time my pack will be on me. It's always good to have a pack that has a cinch strap. And so the side that my bow would be hanging on is where I would put the bow before I start my ascent. And I'm going to pull some slack into this lineman's rope. All right, tighten it up a little bit. That way you can use the rope to help pull you up on your steps. All right, so this is imperative. This part is imperative where how you pack your dump pouch, being convenient and easy to get up in the tree. So first thing I take out is my lineman's belt. I'm gonna add a little slack to it so I can grab the rope and walk myself up the tree. This would be a lot easier if I didn't have hay dudes on. Right now I'm at the top of the tree, so I'm gonna pull the tag in, get all that slack out, and I'm gonna kind of stomp on, put some weight on this, on my platform. That way, when I cam it over, that strap is cinched down as tight as possible. Now, before I make the transition over to my platform, I'm going to put my tether on. My tether acts more as the fall protection and fall prevention. So a lineman's belt's just prevention. It's your 3 points of contact while you're climbing and working. But once I cinch down my tether, that is my protection method. Go ahead and pull that tether up a little bit tight. Now I'll transition over to my platform. Being this is the 2 panel, I can pull my bottom panel down. And I know typically I want to keep this, I want to keep it about eye level, just above eye level. And then my rope and ascender is going to be right there about face level. And this is just how I do it. Let out a little slack. I'm going to be good and comfortable in my tree. And I'll actually leave my rope my lineman's belt attached for a little bit, and that's just in case if I want to put my bag on it as I'm getting out. Like say, a lot of times I'm carrying camera gear. I'll put my bag here on this to get stuff out of it. But the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put my high strap, and I have the Latitude strap. I don't know what they call it, but I have it, and it's a nice strap. But I think the high strap's a little bit more convenient in that none of these loops move, so I can just hook into wherever, run it under your tether, and I run it as close up to my tether as I can. It's important to hook it onto the furthest point as you can, so when you pull the tag in on your high strap, it'll actually cinch down for you. So, and you can take these loose ends and you do something with them. This one usually gets stuck behind my camera mount, so I'm not too worried about that. Always make sure the gate to your carabiner on your tether is facing you, and you lock it down. I'll take the tag in from if I'm happy with how it's set up, I'll take the tag in from this for my tether, and I'll wrap it around just to keep any loose ends from dangling, because I don't want anything moving more than it has to. Now I have one of the Night Eyes S carabiners on here, and now I can take my pack off, put it here. I'll fold the kidney belt under it. That way all these straps are out of my way. Now I can also take this and stuff it down in here in one of these side pouches on my pack. And there's one less thing that's moving while I'm up in the tree. And I'll take my lineman's belt, reconnect it on the other side, pull the slack out through my tag in, and then put the rest of my line in my drop pouch. So now I don't have anything dangling. Now as far as using this high strap, I have a hook, and I know Tethrd makes one, but I ended up using the Latitude version. It worked really well. And this is what I like about this gear hoist. This Holland Doyles gear cinch hoist, Holland hoist. What I like about this hoist is, you see, now I don't have to wrap it up anymore. It's completely done. So mount my arrow. I'm gonna take my quiver off because I do not shoot with a quiver on. And my little hook will allow me to hook in to my tree. And I am completely done. I can take one of my other hooks, like the hook I use for my platform, and take it off, run it through top of my quiver, mounted on the other side of my pack. Now anything I need in my pack is right here. It's accessible to me. Right here is my bow. Everything's right in front of me. If I want to move, I can actually counter these two, reverse the order I'll put them up in. Make my arrows a little bit more accessible to me. But there we are. And now my primary shooting lane is clearly on my strong side and accessible to me. Let's take a couple shots. And with it being this high, I typically, I can sit down comfortably. I can sit down this way. And if an animal comes out, I'd normally be hooked up, but normally have my release already hooked up, and I'd just be sitting here. Oops, it's on 40. It's an easy way to practice too. I mean, I'm not up at it high enough that it's going to be a lot of work to climb up and down to take my shots, but I can get up here. My quiver holds 6 arrows. I'm at about 15 yards right now, so if I want to practice shooting from a seated position, I can do that. And this is good. I mean, even if you're in a climber or a ladder stand or a lock on, shooting from the seated position eliminates a lot of your movement. You know, just practice. You come up here and just practice a couple different ways to set up. And that's my basic setup. One of the pieces of gear I forgot to tell you about was this Havrock bridge splitter. I love this thing. This does a great job of distributing the weight a little bit some more, so, or actually widening out the bridge a little bit more, so this doesn't pinch so much on my body. Now to get down, we'll just reverse order this thing. So in this situation, first thing I'm gonna let down is the bow. And I've discharged all my arrows, so discharge, shot, whatever makes you feel good. Then we're just going to go reverse order. So anything I need to pack up in my pack, I'll be putting in here now. And I'm going to take that air S-beaner off that I use for my platform. It's going to go back onto my saddle. I've loaded my pack, so now it's going back on my back. Everything's off my ice strap. Before I put anything in there in my dump pouch, I'm gonna go ahead and take off get my lineman's belt and my tag ends out, so I can unwrap everything. Go ahead and release. We're gonna pull some slack out from my lineman's belt, and we're gonna get the lineman's belt back around the tree. Pull that tag end back up. Now I can relieve all the tension off my tether. I got my lineman's belt nice and tight. And then I'm going to pull my bridge out. Feed my tether back through. And I can stuff my tether back in the dump pouch. I like having my dump pouch off on the right side, because if I'm anticipating animals on my left side, this thing it does dangle a little bit, and I have it hid on the opposite side from the animal. I want to minimize any movement that I can. So always good as you're climbing down, put your cinch strap, your chest cinch strap. Go ahead and cinch it down. That way, your shoulder straps don't want to slide on you, or as you're moving around, slide off of you. So I'm on the back side of the tree. I am holding my lineman's belt so it don't fall. Let out some slack. Now I got my lineman's belt in each hand. So I'm going to tighten my lineman's belt back up so I can actually work. Uncam my platform. Give some slack. And unhook it from the tree. Give it a couple wraparounds. And this adjustment screw or bolt that's down here on the bottom of the platform is what I'm going to hook this strap up to. I'm just going to use my tag in on the cam buckle to tighten up so that it stays in place. Tie my platform, put tag in so that I don't have anything loose, and now I can finish my process of getting down. And I run for this particular one. You can tighten down this cleat. You can fold it down, and then I tighten it back up so I don't get a metallic clank every time it bounces. All right, now that I'm ready to climb down, loosen up my lineman's belt again. And this is where these max step 8ers from Hunt Arsenal are so good. I didn't have to look down and finagle my foot into a step. I was able to just push my foot down there and find it. That is so convenient, so nice. And that's it. That's the final thing. Once I hit the final step, once I hit the ground, I take my platform off, I'll get my lineman's belt off the tree and put I tighten down the lineman's belt like an extra belt on the saddle itself, and then I'll put the loose end back in the dump pouch so I don't have to worry about it dragging behind me or cinch that dump pouch down. I'm gonna go ahead and unhook from my bow. Had to take my quiver off because the gear hoist rope got wrapped around the quiver and the hook on the bow. So now with that piece of gear, I have completely detached from the tree. I got one step to take down. So I'll show you how I'll pack this thing in next. The part of this that gets more difficult with these max step 8ers is getting this rope back through the attachment to lock in like that, because you got the locking mechanism in the way. But once you learn that it takes a little bit more work, that you got to pay a little bit more attention to it than you would normally, because those work very well. Those work very well if there's nothing in the way. When they designed that, they gave the perfect amount of rope to come all the way up in here and just have a small tag in, which I like. So we're going to go ahead and stack these sticks up. And I always put these in an order similar to what I'm about to do. That way, this attachment rope that I put on here is always on the bottom. And it's just the sequence in which these are going to come off. So obviously my first step is always going to be my double. I'm going to put my tighten strap around them. And now it's locked in place. So the pack right here. Go ahead and undo that, get it out of the way. And I don't have anything else to go in here today, so I'm just going to put that in there. That is the front part of this driver bino harness. And next, where did I throw my platform? Oh, platform's under it. So I'm going to take my platform, throw it on here, and I will run it through the grates of this platform right now. Cinch them down a little bit. And the great thing about this, so like if I'm wearing cold weather gear going out to a tree, I can absolutely put it under these long straps that I'm attaching the sticks with. I can put a coat or something like that under it. That way when I get to the tree, I can put it on, so if I'm walking a good distance in, I don't have to deal with building up a sweat inside a hot coat. Because the last thing I want to do is it to be cold outside and me put a bunch of sweat in my coat, build up a bunch of scent. The last thing I'd want to do is build up a lot of heat, start sweating, start really laying on the scent before I even start my hunt. So I'll put my coat on, then put my harness back on over it, and then start doing my climb. And it makes it real handy with those long straps, because then with the long straps, I'm able to put extra cold weather gear on the pack and carry it in like this. And it even has kidney belts if you're going to be going for a long walk. This came in real handy in Wisconsin and Iowa, because we were on public land doing some stuff and doing some hunting, and when you're doing a lot of long walks, it's real nice to have this so that you can take everything at one time with you. Super easy, super simple. You know, I'm moving around, not making a bunch of noise, and it's overall I've been very satisfied with it. So anyway, I hope this helps. If you're thinking about getting into saddles, I would say this is probably the minimal amount of gear that I would want to attempt to be a saddle hunter with. Lineman's belt, tether, the bridge separator. You need a dump pouch key note about the dump pouch: pack it in the way you're going to pull it out and use it. So the first thing in is my lineman's belt. The next thing in is my tether. The thing after that is the high strap, because that's the way I'm going to put it up on the tree in the order that I'm going to use it. So anyway, I think that's about it. I think I've covered about everything. You can hit me up in the comments if you think I missed something. Please, if you got a better idea, hit me up with it, because I'm always about tinkering and adjusting my setup to make it smoother, easier, quieter. Please like, subscribe, comment. And as always, God bless, stay safe, shoot straight, and happy hunting.